If you're still with us, if you follow us back, thank you so much. I really apologize about those technical issues. Not really sure what happened there, but thank you guys for coming back and let us know if there are any issues, if you see them. But hopefully we fixed them. Now, we sort of want to get back to talking about the Bulldogs and the Cowboys. So, as we know, Max King is injured. He's got a fractured hand, so he's out for 6 weeks. So he's a big loss, right? He's a big loss. He's averaging about 130, 140 meters for the Doggies. He's making, last week against the Warriors, he played, 60, 70 odd minutes, made 55 tackles, ran for 160 meters. It's been one of those things for us.
Yeah, look.
No, it's still straight.
All right, let's see if they can still hear us. But sorry, guys. Hopefully it fixes itself up. Just on Max King, it is a massive loss. He's been absolutely consistent for you guys every single week. It's not what you want. Hopefully, it doesn't affect you guys. And you guys can still post those wins because he's back before the end of the season. And obviously, you want Canterbury playing finals footy, and I'd love to see them having their full side on, so we can get a good good account of themselves in the finals. I reckon Canterbury should be able to win if they make the finals. They keep up the form they're in, they should be able to get a home final game. I don't know if they're going to scrape into that top four. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm tipping them to have a home finals game. So I'm actually tipping them to be around 5th or 6th at the business end of the season. I think they can definitely win their first game. It's interesting to see their second game. I know we're 7-8 weeks away, but I actually think I like what I see from Canterbury. They deserve their spot in the finals. I think them winning 4 out of their next 8 is not playing to their ability from what we've seen this year. So as a fan, I don't want them winning the minimum 4 out of 8. I want to be aiming for at least 5 or 6 out of 8. More so 6 out of 8, to be honest, because that actually gives them a shot at the top 4.
Look, if we win 6 out of 8, I think what that leaves us is at 36 points, which I think
could scrape you in the top 4.
Could definitely scrape us in the top 4. The thing I like about the Bulldogs is that we've been playing finals footy for a while, and I think out of the top 8, the 4 teams that I see being capable of winning and making it a long way are the current premiers, Panthers, Melbourne, the Roosters, and I have the Dogs at 4th. I know many will probably disagree with me on this, but I actually think that the Bulldogs, if they make the finals, can go very, very long way, more than people expect. We've been playing finals footy now for a good while, and if we're next man up, think of it this way: the game against the Cowboys is a big test, right? If the Bulldogs beat the Cowboys, me,
it's a very winnable game.
It is a winnable game, but if we do win it without Max King, right up there in North Queensland on a Sunday night, I think that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, right, exactly how good the Bulldogs are and where they end up. And in fact, I will go as far as...
What game is it? Saturday night?
Sunday night at 6:15.
Oh, that's actually awesome. That's 4 games. Oh, none of you... Oh, besides Stephen Crichton, then you got, 18th man and a 20th man?
Yeah, so Marnie and Burden would have...
Be nice and fresh.
In and amongst it. They'll be fresh. They would have been training hard. They would have been in amongst the legends of the game. And Crichton, if the Dogs... end up beating, if the Blues end up beating Queensland, can you imagine the high that Stephen Crichton will be on when he comes back down?
I'd definitely then install Canterbury as favourites. I still got them as favourites, slight favourites. My only worry here is, some of the players, not performing on the day or turning up on the day. I don't, I love what I've seen from Canterbury this year. They have basically turned up to almost every single game they've played this year. They've probably had a couple of off games. The one against Canberra comes to mind. Their first game against Parramatta. Other than that, it's hard.
The Roosters game that we had in Gosford.
I wouldn't say they were bad in that game. I think the scoreline probably flattered them. As in, you shouldn't have... They lost by, 20 points? For me, it felt more closer than that. But you're going to get a good account of themselves from Canterbury. And the main thing I see now with Canterbury for the rest of the year is complacency, and I don't want to see them. They had a horror year last year with injuries. I don't want them to start having that happen to them again. So I think they're in a good position. They've hit towards the business end of the season, and now they're only missing Max King for the next month and a half at most. Is there anyone else that's missing besides Addo Carr?
No, I mean, any players that would have made it to the team? No. So Adokar and King are the only ones we're really missing.
It's a good. Oh, you are in a good position.
I
and
think
I
we're in a
th-
great position.
I have them winning at least 5 out of 8. I mean, I want to say Frank. All their games are winnable. Have you seen their draw?
Yeah, so I'll tell you. Actually, I think it's interesting. I want to talk about the draw a little bit because I'm of the same opinion, right?
Well, there's no more 8 games left. What are we? Or is it 8 games?
It is 8 games,
Yeah,
including
sorry.
this round,
Yeah,
round
that's
20,
right,
right? So we've got the Cowboys up in Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Yep.
We have the Broncos at Suncorp. Then we have Raiders at Belmore.
You'll be aiming for revenge on that. It's a home game.
Agreed, but then we have the Dragons at Netstrata.
He's already beaten them, and that's just down the road.
We've got the Dolphins in Bundaberg,
All right.
Warriors in New Zealand,
Yep. That's.
and then we've got Sea Eagles at Accor.
Yep.
And then we've got North Queensland again at Accor.
At Belmore.
No, Accor in Homebush.
Oh, home game. Yeah. All right. None of those games are.
Definite losses.
Yeah, they're not difficult. You
None
get
of the
me?
games
like
are
Brisbane
out of
are
the
reeling.
reach.
Like
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
anything, the next 2 weeks is really crucial. I can see them winning at least 1 out of 2. I'd love to see them win this Sunday night just to kick on and really put. There's a 4-point gap between them and falling out of the 8, and in that stage, it'd probably take them 3 losses on the trot, provided that all the teams on that because their for and against is that good. They got such a good buffer, so them winning their next game is takes a huge leap. I'd love to see them ideally win their next 2 games to really set them up for a tilt at the top 4
I don't look. The Raiders game will be a very, very difficult game
at Belmore.
Yeah, because they've got Fogarty back. And
What is it, complacency? You reckon?
No, it's not
I
complacency.
think Doc's biggest problem might be complacency. Mind you, they've been consistently good the whole year. I don't want them falling off at the business end of the season.
I don't actually fear complacency for the Bulldogs. I fear fatigue. I don't know if the Bulldogs like for example, everyone keeps tipping against the Bulldogs because everyone's expecting the Bulldogs to just fall over.
I think the Dogs are the reason I'm winning the tipping comp this year because a lot of them kept tipping against them, and I kept tipping for them.
It's a big thing, right? And so the way I look at it is, our team, like where we were last year and how much we've come this year, how far we've come, for me, it's nothing short of remarkable. If we just scrape into the finals this year, I think we've had a very, very, very successful season. Like I'm happy to tip to what's called hang my hat on that for 2024. Having said that, what they've shown us, right, indicate that they're going to go a lot further than we're expecting, and they're going to go deep into the finals. I think we're good enough for a prelim. You may laugh at me and say this is one-eyed, but I swear, wallahi, I reckon they're good enough for a prelim. What do you guys think?
I think it's silly.
I want to ask you, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Bulldogs are good enough to make a prelim? Considering what we have seen, do you guys believe that the Bulldogs are good enough for a prelim? B Massive says that the only game that is hard will be the Warriors in New Zealand. 100%. I think that's
the Warriors game might be dead, and Warriors season might be dead and buried by then. So
it will. And similarly to Jamie Teasdale said Broncos have Adam Reynolds back by the looks of it.
Yeah, well,
I
it'll be
don't
rusty after one game.
Yeah, I don't really think that Adam Reynolds is going to turn that. When you're shit for a 90% of no. Well, I say that with due respect. The Broncos have been not just poor; they've been shit. They've been so bad, right, for a majority of the year. Sure, they played well against the Panthers, right, but the Panthers are missing 2 or 3 very, very good key players. So
if they were really good, their B side would have beaten the Dragons last week. Let's be frank. If they were playing good.
I actually want to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
Dragons I keep pointing out their little position on the ladder is belying of how.
You think it's fool's gold?
Fool's gold. I'll explain later, but yeah, I'll let you carry on.
Well, I want because I do want to get into that. But I think what's interesting is next week they're versing the Knights. The Broncos are versing the Knights.
That's
in
elimination
Stadium. That is literally for their season.
Hell in a Cell elimination chamber.
That's what I think it is. I think that if the Broncos lose this match, they're out because they're 13th. I think if the Knights lose this match, they're also out. And let me tell you, I think that the Knights will lose.
You know what, James? Your comment there. Look, they got to start somewhere. They got to start somewhere. They got to experience their first somewhere. So they'll get there this year. I still think they'll get a home final as long as they play consistent. I still think they win their first week of the finals. It's for me the second week. That's where I'm on the fence whether they get to the prelim or not. That's the really tough one. I mean, obviously there's still 8 rounds to go, but they've got to start somewhere, and that sets them up for the medium term as well.
But you know what? One thing that I am confident of, and this is, and you can tell me what you think here, right? Is Seraldo is not new to the finals atmosphere. I think that's something you keep in mind. Kikau's not new to the finals atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I agree. I thought you said he was new, but
No,
he's
not.
Penrith
He's not.
days, and
He's
plus he's
not.
playing days.
Neither is Critter, neither is Kikau, neither is Burden.
Neither is
Connor
Man.
Tracy, right, played finals with the Sharks. Man,
Curran.
as you say,
He's
Curran
actually
with
got a
Warriors.
very experienced squad now.
Right, it's one of those squads there. I think, you know, sure, it's not the best squad, but if we make the finals,
It's a solid
people
squad.
are going to be looking over the shoulder because they're going to struggle to score points against us. That's where I think the Bulldogs have that strength.
They just got to maintain, I wouldn't say the rage,
Just be consistent.
just how they've been the whole year. They've plugged away. They've just given energy, line speed. I wouldn't be deterred by the missed tackles. The reason those missed tackles are happening is because they're speeding up, you know, and then really lunging at the players and sending the opposition elsewhere. And then they're getting swallowed. So they're actually negating anything happening, anything the opposition's doing with the ball at the expense of a I wouldn't say a non-costly missed tackle. You know, they've missed a tackle, but that player's gone straight into their defending teammate and they've pulled off the tackle.
You know what I find amazing is that the Bulldogs have essentially shown that certain statistics don't actually paint a picture of how a team is going.
That's how I've always maintained. I know people will look at, look, he had 230 run meters. Yeah, but they kicked the ball to him 20 times.
Yeah.
And he ran the ball back, 10 meters each time.
But it's not just that. But it's not just that, right? Like the Bulldogs in the red zone, so that's from the 20-meter line to the goal line, they are the best team in defense. Sure, overall, the Panthers are the best team in defense at the moment, but in the 20-meter, the Bulldogs are the best team in defense in the red zone.
And
now,
you can tell from their line speed. And there's another thing.
Their scramble.
Their scramble is the best. Well, the Dogs is also their ruck speed. When they, I know they haven't been polishing off and finishing that domination in attack. I'm sure Serraldo will think, get something happening in the off season, but
he spoke about attack.
There's
he said
areas
that it's,
they're in up there, if not the best, amongst the best.
Brian 301004 says, hasn't Reed Marnie also played finals? Absolutely. Reed Marnie's got grand final experience.
No, that doesn't count. They got absolutely towed up. He's scarred for life for that, so he needs to start again.
No,
in Canterbury.
look, I think
he needs to be reborn.
we have a lot of players that have played finals and that can actually make a big difference to our team if we do go deep into the finals. In terms of attack, I just want to go back to the statistic about being in our 20, right? The Bulldogs, all right, are the safest in the 20. So we are the best team in defense. So you need to have 3 sets on our line to score 1 try in the 20. So you're actually more successful scoring from behind the 50-meter line against the Bulldogs than you are being in our 20.
I think the opposition's best team probably is putting up the high ball and then just hoping the ball falls
to the
for 'em.
best. But even then, we found the way to scramble. And I think, if you saw against the Warriors, one of the kicks that Sexton put in for kicks, right? He grabs it, puts it down. We just need a little bit more of that, right?
You know what's got me really astounded? If you look at the size of the Dogs forward pack,
Yeah.
and somehow they're not getting dominated at all by the opposition. If anything, the tables are turned. It just left me astounded. I haven't really broken it down, or the only thing I can put it to is they're just so mobile. The game's either got them faster, and that's where their fitness has kicked in their mobility.
Fitness. I think it's all fitness. I think it really all comes down to Travis Tuma and fitness. You look at, I'll tell you something, right?
And obviously they're really solid scrambling in defence. Just negated
What's
the opposition.
What's the difference? What is allowing us to make all that scramble to continue to show up for each other? Like that Warriors game, that debutant for the Warriors, Leka, I forgot what his last name was, right? That was an incredible run that he made. He breaks through the tackle of Sherry, and instead of Sherry dropping off and saying...
Could have given up.
He didn't give up. He kept going, and then he made a try-saving tackle. That won the game for us, right? That is determination.
I'll just point out
that is fitness. If you're not fit, you can't do that.
I'll just point out something else with that. You're forgetting that he had 2 teammates there with him as well.
100%. But he made the main tackle
I know,
that
but
he missed.
Just show you the commitment. There wasn't one player
Absolute
there.
commitment.
There was 3
Absolute
involved in that
commitment.
tackle. Like, I know he was the main tackler, but there was 2 of his teammates there getting involved as well. So it just shows you.
If Seraldo doesn't get Coach of the Year this year, it's bloody rigged. It is absolutely rigged. Seraldo, I think, already should be Coach of the Year. There's no doubt about
if
just
Cleary
how much he's
goes,
done.
the only way they can deny it is if Cleary goes 4 in a row.
Oh, look, all right, if he goes 4 in a row,
He's had half a side, not half a side, but he's
done well.
A
Yeah,
large chunk.
if he goes 4 in a row,
That's unheard of.
I'll gladly pull. And you know what? I hope
it
he does.
hasn't happened since 2 generations ago.
If the Bulldogs don't win, the only other team I'm happy seeing win are the Panthers. I don't want Melbourne to win. I hope the Roosters don't even make the second week of the finals.
I hope the Roosters don't make the finals from next year.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Hopefully they lose all their remaining games.
And I hope the mate, I hope the Sharks fall out of the 8. Right? I think it's full.
That'll be
gold.
lovely. Roosters and Sharks will lose every remaining game.
Oh, mate, Sharks are just. You know what? It should be. You know what it should be? It should be the Perth Sharks. They should get rid of the Sharks.
I don't like the ring of the Perth Bears. I think that Central Coast Bears had a better ring to it. Perth Sharks sounded really good.
Yeah, Perth
They
Sharks
got
are
Shark
excellent.
Bay over there. A lot of sharks in the Indian Ocean out there. So
One of our friends is actually sitting in the studio. He's a Sharks supporter. I think he's the only Sharks supporter I can stomach. Legitimately, there isn't another Sharks supporter I can stomach.
there's not much of them, so they're hard to find. Like that, whilst they're winning, they're only getting 11,000 to their game. Relocate them already. I don't know. I don't think Adelaide Sharks got a good ring to it. I would have taken Perth Sharks.
So James Ham is saying, I'm looking forward to seeing what we do with Blake Taff. He's shown one hell of a spark. Look, I actually don't think Blake Taff plays too much more of a role in our team, provided that Connor Tracy doesn't get injured. I actually think that he does have spark, but I don't think you can change too much of the team considering how we're going in defense and in attack. I know attack hasn't been the best the last couple of weeks, but I do think that it's been a long season. We've got a little bit of Origin hangover. We had the bye, didn't come back great from the bye, but we've still managed to win. And I think you need to take that for what it is. And Seraldo, look, I have faith in Seraldo. Seraldo has seen mistakes. He's fixed them. And, we're far better this year than we were last year. And that, I trust the coach is sort of what I'm saying. Hades Ox is saying he really concerns me not having King for the next few. If another prop goes down, I think we have big problems. Look, I think we have big problems with Max King going down. I absolutely agree with you. One thing we have seen from the Bulldogs, though, is the next man up mentality. Very similar to Penrith.
Yeah, look,
this week, Curran starting in place of Max King. Do I think that's going to be the way the team runs out? No. I think Palasa going to start. Curran's going to be on the bench.
I think he'll use his bench more.
And I've got an inkling.
Because Max King and is an 80-minute player. Sam Hughes has been getting limited game time.
I reckon Sam Hughes is going to have a massive game.
I reckon he can go 60 minutes.
I reckon he's going to have a massive game.
I hope he does, because he's been down the last 6 weeks.
And I actually think what may happen is that Lipoi Hopoi gets dropped and they bring Chris Patola onto the bench so that we can have a little bit more size in us. That's what I think. That's what I have an inkling that may happen.
I like what B Massive is stressing on. I don't disagree, but I think they are going to play finals. It's their points that will their defense will always be there. It's the matter of points they're going to score, which determines how far they go in the finals.
I actually think that the attack is going to come. I'm not concerned about the attack at all. If we can keep teams like the Sharks and the Warriors to 12 and 14 points, we will win more games than we lose. And that type of win is a finals type win. You can see yourself winning a final 16-12, 16-14, whatever, 15-14 by Golden Point. They are finals wins. So it's not the attack that concerns me, right? If let's say the Dragons make the finals and they can't defend for their lives. No. Hear me out.
Not even going to make the finals.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out, right? Or even the Sharks. Yeah, even the Sharks, right?
I don't know where the Sharks are going, but yeah.
The Sharks couldn't defend for their lives. Sure, they can attack, but they can't defend. They don't have the tenacity to defend and to keep teams below 16 points. We're only averaging 16 points letting in, and our attack is averaging at about 19-20. So on average, you'll think we will win more than we lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, sure, attack needs to improve, no doubt. But as long as our defense still stays where it is, I think we've got we can score enough points to win, and that's why it gives me confidence playing against a team like the Cowboys who go all out in the first 20 minutes and try and get on top of you. If they get on top of you, they win. But the Bulldogs, no one gets on top of them. Very rarely do you see a team get completely on top of them. Even the Roosters game, for a big part of that game, we were in the game right up until maybe the 55th minute is when they sort of got the better of us in the rain. But we were in it and they didn't get over the top of us. We still haven't let in 30 points. We're the only team that hasn't let in 30 points.
Wow, that's massive.
That is huge.
Well, how much did you lose against Para in that first round?
I think it was 26-8 or something like that.
Oh,
We haven't let in 30 and we haven't lost at home. So, Brian 30104 says, imagine a Bulldogs premiership in Para wooden spoon. One can only hope. One can only hope that Parramatta gets the wooden spoon. And James Ham is saying, if we lose Curran to injury while King is out, we'll be in trouble. Look, I agree. I think if
Ilipo Hoppo will have to step up. Chris Patalo will have to step up. Who's that new guy I saw on your bench? Harvey Cade or something?
Harry Hayes.
Harry Hayes?
Yeah, he's not a prop. He's more of a second row type player.
Oh,
so,
okay, yep.
Yeah.
Where's he come from?
He's one of the juniors. Harry Hayes, good young
Come
guy.
out of nowhere to force himself into 19th man.
It's such a shame that someone like Jack Todd got injured again. I think that he was definitely going to make his debut alongside Lipboy Hopboy.
How long's he out for now?
8 weeks. Broke his arm again.
That's his season.
So the season's off. But look, here's what I think. I think the Bulldogs will absolutely frustrate the Cowboys up there in Queensland. It helps us that it's a 6 o'clock game, not like a 2 o'clock or a 4 o'clock game where it could be too hot and humid. I think that the conditions will be more favourable for us. 6 p.m. on a Sunday. I think the Bulldogs win.
I think they would have appreciated a warmer game. 2 o'clock would have been good. It's the winter up there, so
look, I'm with you, but I think it could have been too humid as well. And I think it being at night nullifies some of the advantages the conditions will give the North Queensland Cowboys. I reckon we win this. I reckon 22-10, 24-10. I think the Dogs will be very, very good.
it's probably a good shout, like 8 to 12 points.
Yeah, it's not going to be a big. I don't think any team will roll over the other. I think the Cowboys.
Oh, it'd be nice for the Dogs to roll over.
It'll be Cowboys. Cowboys are a very, very good team. They're improving a lot. They've won the same number of games that we have, and I think that they'll be very good. I think they'll be very, very good. But I do believe our defense will be too great. That's genuinely why I'm saying we win.
Like I said, as long as the players turn up, I think you guys will stifle them.
Absolutely. B Massive said Skelton should play in the forwards. Look, even if he does play in the forwards, it'd have to be second row. It wouldn't be a prop position. He just wouldn't be able to last. I don't know if he can defend.
Is his contract run out this year at Canada?
Yeah.
I think
last year.
Unfortunately, as somebody stated to us before, of note, you can't keep him all.
You just can't keep him all.
So I don't know if they will keep him. But
I mean, you consider
he's good
right?
enough to be at a lot of clubs.
We still have Wilson, right? When Fox comes back, So we've got Eli Clark. We've got a few options. So it's like it's all a matter of
It's a lot of good young guns.
So look, I'm saying Dogs by 12. What's your call?
I think Dogs by 8. That's why I have to go. It's unfair to tip against them.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cowboys are favourites, but Dogs. I think Dogs by 8. I want to quickly talk to Jamie Teasdale saying 18-10 Dogs. I think that's a great shout. To be honest, that's a very, very good shout.
22-14, but I'll take 18-10.
Want to talk to you about your Dragons winning against the Broncos. I thought they played very well without Ben Hunt and Lomax. I genuinely think they played well. I think
they've been playing well without Ben Hunt for a while. If you see the trends, I know Flanagan gets the accolades for this one, like 2 of his passes were to his teammate who beat the opposition one-on-one. Yeah. So he beefed up his stats by having 2 try assists.
Who, Kyle Flanagan?
Yeah.
No. Hey, look.
But I'm just pointing out something. For me, I thought he had a decent game, but honestly, it's the other half. Jesse Marschke, I know I'm a big fan of his, but I think Jesse Marschke, the whole attack flow, if you watch every game, Jesse Marschke has got to run at half. The attack flow is a lot better. There's a lot more variety to the attack.
I have to disagree with you there. I think you're being unfair.
To Flanagan?
Yes, Jesse Marschke had a good game, but that game was Flanagan. I watched that game, and you know that I was really keen to watch that game together. I thought it was all Flanagan. Flanagan to the left. I thought Flanagan playing to the left.
He passed the ball to
Christian Tuipulotu. Yeah, Christian Tuipulotu got a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Right? Christian Tuipulotu got a hat-trick.
But hang on a sec.
And that was on the back of Flanagan identifying, right, the weaknesses of the right side defense, right, and identifying that Katoni Staggs is
in the sin bin.
He's rubbish. No. Katoni Staggs is a good runner, but
he was in the sin bin as well at one stage.
He was in the sin bin because he's an idiot. But
Ricky's
Katoni
never.
Staggs,
but you know, who's
No.
going to stop Sully 5 meters out? Like, you know, I don't know what Ricky was grasping at, but,
But I,
yeah.
I actually think that Flanagan was the reason why Sully, or I mean, not the reason, but one of the reasons why Sully had such a good game is because Flanagan is identifying getting the ball early to Sully.
All
It's
right,
like Burden.
the
with,
next question
with
is:
kick out.
does Flanagan play a lot better next to Marshke in that case? 'Cause
Yes,
it seems to
yes.
be the case.
I actually think
I think Ben Hunt should go to 9.
Ben Hunt is the problem. I genuinely believe Ben Hunt is the Dragons' problem. That's a very controversial comment, but I think he's the problem.
I'm in total agreement. You know, I've been saying that.
Yeah.
You know, so Ben Hunt needs another dominant half next to him to take the pressure off him, the eyes off him, the attention away from
but
him.
he's supposed to be the dominant half.
Yeah, but he's not a dominant half. He can't be.
But no, but he's supposed to be. He's
Yeah, I know,
35 years. How old is he? 33, 34?
34. You remember when Widdop was there? He excelled because he had another dominant half
Widdop
next to him.
Widdop
He was able to
excellent.
work
Yeah,
his
Widdop
magic
was-
because Widdop was there.
Yeah.
He needs someone like that. I honestly think he needs a running half. And Marshke's more of a running half. I like to see Marshke play alongside him. Either that and Flanagan to 14, or it's Marshke and Flanagan in the halves, Hunt to 9, Little off the bench. Mind you, Little's actually played good this year.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why they bought Cook. Like, I understand he's got the experience, but I think
I
Little.
think that's unfair to Little.
I think so too.
Even more mind-boggling is why they bought Fuamanu Brown.
Honestly,
Is it more just a depth signing?
I think that maybe Flanagan saw that he needed some
Backup depth.
Yeah.
You know, their position on the ladder belies how they've actually been playing this year. They've played a lot of sides that have been either coming off. I don't know. They seem to get the luck of the draw. It feels like this year for the first time in a while. They're either playing like they played Penrith C side, if you remember.
Yeah.
They played a Brisbane B side. They played a South out of sorts. A Warriors. I think the only good win was probably against the Warriors.
I'm very tempted to agree with you about that Brisbane side. But even if it wasn't a B side, Brisbane has been poor. Brisbane
That's
has
the thing.
been poor.
They're playing okay. So they've actually been playing sides, playing at their worst. If you know what I mean. Brisbane's playing at its worst.
Look, give your team some credit. They've won games.
Dolphins had an out of sorts game.
They've won games that last year they would have bottled.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Last year they would have bottled. I'm like,
What are they now? 9 wins for the season.
yeah, I think it's 9 wins for the season, and that like you've got to give credit. Like, I know you're a
Is
critic
that
of your
their two seasons combined in one, and there's still 8 rounds to go.
Yeah, I mean that's like the Dogs, right? In
Yep.
21-22, I think we won 6 games in
So
2 years.
You've doubled it already.
So we've already tripled those 2 years combined in one. So look, you got to give credit where it's due. I think the Dragons are good. I don't think they'll make the 8. Only reason I say that,
If you look at their run home, they got after the bye, they got the Storm and the Panthers. Although the Storm, they might end up playing a weakened Storm side. They play the Roosters this week.
I don't think they'll be. Look, the Storm are consistent. The Storm are strong. They've got the Panthers with Cleary. I think that'll be a very.
And then they got Penrith
ask.
after the Storm.
No. So it's Penrith first, then the Storm.
Oh, okay.
Penrith then the Storm. I don't.
Jeez.
I don't.
They're
think,
in a lot of trouble.
I don't think they'll win any of those 2 games.
Oh, no,
genuinely, like
they're not even in the contest.
I don't think they make the 8.
No, definitely not.
I don't think they make. I think they come close though. I think that it depends on how the Cowboys and the Sea Eagles go. Right? If they can win more, if they can win maybe 4 of their next 8, 4 of the next 7 games.
I think because their foreign against is that bad, for them to have any chance, they need to win at least 5 out of 8.
I think you're right.
And have results go their way. Their foreign against is minus 56.
It is minus 56.
They instead of getting a plus 30 against the Broncos, they end up having only a plus 4.
Well, here's the thing, right? If the Dogs end up beating the Cowboys,
there's
right?
a 4-point buffer.
If the Dogs end up beating the Cowboys, the Dragons are in with a shot of the 8. It keeps them in contention, right? Here's the thing. I don't think the Broncos or the Knights or the Raiders make the 8. I think it's that they're done.
I think you'd want the Broncos to win against the Knights because then it puts a 4-point gap between the top 8.
Yeah.
Who's in 9th? Oh, it'd be
The Dragons. Knights, the Dragons.
So it'd be, and then it puts a 4-point gap between 9th and 10th, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. So that's right. So
Or a 3-point gap.
No, it does. So if the Broncos win, they'll be on 20, all right? But the Dragons will be on 24. But the Cowboys will be on 22. So there'll only be a 2-point gap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but 8th to 10th will be
Anyway,
a 4-point gap regardless.
I don't think that matters anyway. Point is, Zata reckons that the Dragons have 1 to 2 wins left in the season. I agree.
I don't even know who they're playing after those next 2. I remember looking at the draws thinking, oh, geez, look at that. They got like the 2 best sides in the comp pretty much.
I want to quickly talk about the Tigers, the loss to the Sharks.
Yep.
What the hell is going on?
I genuinely think the Tigers will get better next year. That Luai. I know a lot of people discredit Luai.
No, I think Luai will be to the Tigers what credit was to the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says.
Thank you.
I don't care what anyone
He'll bring
says.
that winning attitude. I think he'll sway Utukamanu staying. And then the year after, they'll probably be able to sign a few more forwards. If they don't re-sign Utukamanu, that's a big loss to them.
Look, I hate the fact that this guy is trying to hold the team hostage. You know what? You don't want to stay? Thank you very much. Thanks, but no thanks. I think they just tell him.
Oh, of course, you
you're
can't
gone.
hold him hostage.
Just get.
They've
get
actually
rid of him.
given him good money. So whether
They have. What? I don't understand what he's like. Unless he wants to go to the Melbourne.
I think he's
Storm or
holding
something
out
like that.
for Melbourne or someone else to match the money for him.
They
to
won't.
go.
I guarantee you they won't.
That's why he hasn't gone.
And because it's a player option, the Tigers won't have to chip anything in. So if he goes, it's going to have to come from the new club, not from the Tigers. So
Yeah, that's it.
I also want to I want to quickly touch on the Knights. I have to say that performance by the Knights was dreadful. The Seagulls weren't all that great, but the Knights were so bad. It actually blows my mind how they can have such a stacked team and play so bad. Like, Adam O'Brien can surely cannot keep his job after this. Really, honestly and
I
truthfully.
think he's already let some forwards go. for
Adam
next year.
O'Brien cannot stay. He's got KP, he's got Ponga, he's got all these forwards. Yeah, he's got the likes of Hastings, Gamble, Cogger, and he's got Will Price, he's got Kai Peace-Paul. He's got such a great team. He cannot do it. This guy should not be anywhere near a first grade gig. Honestly, Adam O'Brien, if the Knights really want to succeed, they need to bring someone in that can get the best out of KP, that can get the best out of KPP, that can get the best out of Cogger and Gamble. Because Adam O'Brien right now is literally, you know what he's doing? He's blindfolded and he's throwing darts at a wall to pick his team. He had 2 second rowers, right, in the centres. Why not just pick young second
That
rowers?
reminds me of when Brandy and Fittler were throwing darts at the ball and they came out with Clinton Gutherson for like 14th or 17th.
Oh, don't
man.
remind me,
The State of
bro.
Origin, or like as a
Oh my
replacement.
God, don't even remind me.
That was Brandy. Pink
Oh,
Gutherson.
man.
Remember that one by... that was a
Man.
good one.
Honestly, just quickly, Zatar is talking about the Tigers, saying that too many bodies collecting a paycheck and half the team needs to be sacked. I agree that Benji needs to be ruthless at the end of the year and just say bang, 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 you're all gone. It needs to. Absolutely needs to get rid of so many people.
He should be... Well, I think next year... besides Luai, who's he got coming next year?
He's got Taruva.
Yep.
He's got some of these young guys that are actually playing well.
Any forwards?
He's got some of the Solomona Fatah.
You know what's crazy? They got the second biggest junior base after Penrith, and
Yeah.
they lose all their good juniors to other clubs, and they retain like the ones that seem to have know someone at the club.
Zatar just said Trent Barrett to head coach of the Knights.
Probably, I wouldn't be. Honestly, the fact that Parramatta considered him, I wouldn't be surprised. The guy somehow has pull, or his management, like he must have the best management, or somehow talks his way. He's a good salesman. But what about the other guy who got let go? What was his name?
I think-
the Gold Coast.
Holbrook. Well, the thing is,
Holbrook would be
everybody
alright.
says that Trent Barrett is such a lovely, wonderful human being to be around. He just can't coach. I'm not even kidding, right? There are so many club representatives I've spoken to
It probably is.
that have said that he's such a lovely human being to be around.
It probably is. Yeah.
But that's why he's not
It's
a good
his
coach.
downfall. Yeah.
He's just not a good coach.
The players just don't. I don't know. They don't go that extra mile for him.
In
He's
any
just
case-
too good, nice. Anyway,
In any case, look, thank you guys for putting up with all the errors, and thank you guys for coming back. We promise you next week we'll be live and we will not have these issues. If you have made it to this far, thank you so much. Please be sure to share, like, post it everywhere.
gents, thanks for staying with us. Appreciate it. I love seeing your comments. We remember all
We
your names.
love all the engagement. It's been
I
so
actually
great.
look forward to next week's one.
We're gonna have a review of the Origin game. It's gonna come out probably a Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. We're gonna try and shoot as soon as possible and then put it out there. We're so excited for Origin Game 3. It's gonna be one hell of a game. We really hope the Blues go out there and smash Queensland. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. Again, sorry about all the technical issues. And have a great weekend. I hope your team wins, unless you're the Cowboys this week and you're the Eels.
Who
Thank
are the
you very
Eagles
much.
playing? Anyways, see you as well.
Quickly, Zatar says, I don't think clubs do reference checks on Barrett. I think that the NRL should just step in and just tell Barrett, listen, man, you're embarrassing yourself. We're going to ban you from becoming a referee just to save face because you're shit. That's what I think the NRL should do. Thanks, James Ham. Thanks, everybody that's joined us. We love you guys. We'll speak to you next week. Have a good one. Take care.
Adios.